Even though I'm a YouTuber, I also dabble in watching other YouTubers. I mean, how else are you going to share information and know more about the game and learn about it? So, shout out to Vexkiss, because he's always post the top decks that are being played at tournaments and whatever. And I was noticing some of the Mermail decks, and it made me think that Mermail has been around for a while. I mean, a while. For it to still be topping. Now, does it top as much as it used to? No. But it's still topping. It's still up there. It's still doing stuff. It's still breaking balls in people's shit, because people are like, oh, fuck, Mermails? You playing Mermails? Shit. So I was looking up the build, because I haven't really known much about Mermails in at least a year that I've seen a consistent build. That caught my attention. Now, I'm not going to really talk about the specific build as more as that the deck keeps evolving. People find a way to play it. People make a way to play it. Kind of like, I always like to bring up this deck because it's just a good example of a state of the game, is Dragon Rollers. People, as things got banned slowly from that deck, people kept finding a way to evolve it to fit the criteria. I kind of did the same with my Lightsworn Rollers. I kind of evolved it into a way so it still kind of fits the purpose that it played before, but it doesn't play exactly the same way. Well, Mermails are kind of doing the same thing. I mean, it's still a Mermail, so yes, it's still going to play to the same degree that it does, because the deck can only do so many things as it is. But it just brings me up as in, why is it that some of these meta decks evolve, and then some of them do not? Now, I know it altogether has to do with how the deck has, like what it has to work with and what it doesn't, what tech cards there are out there to make it better or playable, or what newer cards come out in the future. But I think it also revolves around the community. I feel like people wanted Mermails to keep doing good, people wanted to keep playing it, so people found ways to make the deck playable, keep testing it, different builds, and just kept getting tops, and people found a way to make it work. And I feel like other decks, when so many cards get banned or taken away from you, or it's been, another word to put it is that you just keep seeing it get beaten in tournaments, people just give up on it instead of trying to evolve it and change it. Now, this isn't even back to my 6 Sam deck profile I did. That's a different video. I'm not talking about evolving a deck like that necessarily. But like Fire Fists were a huge fucking deal. I mean, Wolfbark, everything. Wolfbarks were like $60 for a while, just to have a place of those, let alone the other cards in Fire Fist, and now it's gone. Yes, people still play it, but it's not like, I don't even think I've seen one top. And people always say, well, Fire Fist is bad now. Well, why, how can we make it good? People might say, well, there's not a way, but I feel like we need more people in the community to change that. We need people to keep playing Fire Fist and be like, no, hold on, there is a way. There are cards to play. There is a way to do it, and this is how. People are giving up, I feel like. I feel like people, fans or community, pick a deck and they're like, you know what, this is the deck that I want to evolve. And Mermails, as soon as Mermails came out over 2 years ago, people just drew to it. It was an awesome deck, it was a fun deck, and that was before all the over OP cards came out for it. I remember when Abyss Megalo was just like, holy shit, you got that on the field, now I'm screwed. But now it's not that big of a deal. It was ahead of its time when it came out, I feel like, and now I feel like in the last year or so it kind of really actually mixes in with the current decks that are out. But in this long rant, what I'm getting at is people made this deck evolve. People made Dragon Rulers evolve. People have made Lightsworn and Chaos Dragons evolve. Chaos Dragons, to when the first Chaos Dragon decks came out to what people play Chaos Dragons now, are really not the same deck. Yes, they have similarities, but it has changed. One, because of newer cards, and secondly, just because of how Yu-Gi-Oh! Plays now. So basically my question is, or this whole topic or discussion is, do decks really just eventually die, or does the community give up on the deck to make it evolve? Or is it all both? Is it a little bit of both? Sometimes like there's just no more you can do with a certain deck, or is there also sometimes that there is a lot you can do with it to change it into the current game? Or is it an in-between? Sometimes there is some more stuff you could do to it, but the community just gives up on it as a whole, which I feel like kind of they did as Fire Fist. I feel like people didn't give Fire Fist enough of a chance to keep going. And I'm not even really on Fire Fist's side when it comes to playability. I mean, Fire Fist was a fun deck to me, but it was definitely not one of my huge favorites. This has happened all toward Yu-Gi-Oh! These are just recent examples that I am using. It's happened numerous times. Necros, I wouldn't say definitely evolved, but people were still making that playable after a few cards got hit. So basically, is it up to community? Is it also lack of more you can do with the deck, or is it all together mix and mash depending on the deck? Let me know down below. Thumbs up this video and add me on Facebook if you don't remember. I have a Facebook, dude. If you want to see when I post a video, add me on Facebook. We are Yu-Gi-Oh! Just same as my name, just on Facebook. Add me. I'll add you. We'll be best friends forever. together. My best friends, BFFs, together.